everything unfolds. And in the unfolding of this new year, we gather to reflect on what it means to belong to a community that in our living and learning seeks to nurture the best in us, inspiring us to give ourselves fully to what we love. A community that encourages joy in our discoveries, expansiveness in our thinking, consciousness in our actions, resiliency in our challenges, and compassion in our care and need for each other. On this morning of beginning, when everything is possible, may we embrace the gift of this new year, and may the sacred surround us with blessing in the unfolding of this journey. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome new students, returning students, new and returning faculty and staff, trustees and friends at opening Convocation, the official commencing of our 141st academic year. I'm thrilled to greet you today as we celebrate our college's foundation, teaching, and learning. Our institution was founded here in the Rocky Mountain West to provide knowledge-seeking individuals with a place to be intellectually curious and daring. It's with our founders' ambition that we remain passionately dedicated to sustaining a learning environment rich with opportunity for self-exploration and growth. For our new students, you're now joining a community that encourages you to think differently and deeply, to go beyond your initial thoughts and assertions, and blaze a path that questions conventional ideas. The distinguished alumni that we recognize today: Charity Haygood, class of 1996, Joe Auner, class of 1981, and Woodward Fischer, class of 2000, have utilized their Colorado College educations to excel in their professions, but also to make a difference in the lives of others. I hope you will take some time to read more about them and imagine ways you can leverage the knowledge and skills that you will acquire here to follow in their footsteps. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the 2014-15 student body president, Alejandro Salazar. Alejandro, a junior from Centennial, Colorado, first arrived on our campus as a high school summer session student. In his 2 short years at CC, Alejandro has contributed much to our community. He's been involved in various organizations, including the Native American Student Union, Black Student Union, First Generation Program, and Blue Key Honor Society. He served as the co-chair of SOMAS and sits as one of the student representatives on the college's budget committee. Additionally, Alejandro has mentored students in the Bridge Scholar Program and is a residential advisor in Slocum Hall. Please join me in welcoming student body president Alejandro Salazar.
Hello, everyone. First years, I have 3 minutes to welcome you to the CC experience. 3 minutes is far too short, but in the interest of time, I have selected 7 common topics that might come up in conversation and some common responses that you might hear. So number 1, the block plan. Yes, I take one class for 3.5 weeks, and no, I don't struggle to multitask. I just prefer to cram a semester's worth of material in less than a month. Number 2, block breaks. Where else do you get a 4-day vacation at the end of the month? No, I don't go camping every block break. House of Cards and Game of Thrones has easily filled most of that time. Number 3, the outdoors. Yes, if you wake up early enough on a Saturday morning, you will see droves of college students packing their skis into their Subarus and driving off into the wilderness. Though not everybody at CC enjoys the outdoors. Number 4, the grass. No, I did not come here at Colorado College for the grass in either context. Number 5, the bubble. The force is strong here, and it often wants to keep us on campus. Going to Woodlands does not count as breaking the bubble. I encourage you all to go find the hidden gems in Colorado Springs. Please enjoy them. Number 6, the imperfection. I can't sugarcoat this. We aren't perfect. We're no strangers to mental illness, to sexual assault, to racism, intolerance, to pain and loss. But we will get through this together because of number 7, the community. First years, for the next 4 years, this will be your home. Seniors, this may be your last year, but it will always be your home. The same goes for you sophomores and juniors. The people sitting next to you are your family. And with this family, you will laugh, you will cry, you will support each other, explore together, ski, binge watch TV shows on Netflix, get in trouble for doing the Harlem Shake on an airplane, start one of the many funk bands that are keeping our campus lively, and most importantly, you will experience this together. So, welcome home.
I have the honor of presenting the first award to Charity Haygood. Be part of the solution. Note that I didn't say solve the problem. This nuanced difference led Charity Haygood to co-found the Glass House at Colorado College in 1995. The Glass House is a multicultural themed residence still on campus today, designed to build bridges between diverse populations while challenging residents and the greater campus to engage in conversations around difference and inclusion. After graduation and 10 years of teaching, Charity again focused on being part of the solution. Charity transcended her Teach for America beginnings by committing to the longevity needed for systemic change. As the principal of Brick Avon Academy, a public school in Newark, New Jersey, she implemented a shared vision of a collaborative teacher-run school. Through this and other transformative approaches, Brick Elementary is no longer one of the lowest performing public schools in Newark. For her intentional approaches to school reform, specifically in areas where a majority of the students lack access to resources, we celebrate her intense desire to be part of the solution. Madam President, I present Charity Haygood for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By action of a joint committee of faculty and trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Charity Serene Schaus Haygood, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. As a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma.
Joseph Auner graduated from Colorado College in 1981, and it is hard to imagine how he could have made his alma mater more proud in the past 33 years. A virtual personification of the liberal arts ideal, he majored in music both as a scholar and a performer, but he took many courses in other fields and disciplines, including history, literature, classics, and the sciences. And it's perhaps his erstwhile curiosity in the sciences that stimulated his current work on a book for the University of California Press to be titled Feeling Music Machines. How can you feel a music machine? This odd title investigates our interactions with devices such as modular synthesizers, tape loops, turntables, digital samplers, and new iPad interfaces. You can read about some of Joe's myriad accomplishments and honors in the printed program, most notably his important and seminal books. But what doesn't necessarily creep out from between the lines is his devotion to learning. His intellectual hunger from 33 years ago is still a model for all of us here today. His ongoing and pioneering work on the composer Arnold Schoenberg, which investigates the latter's place in music and societal cultures of Vienna and Weimar at the end of the 19th century, has won him recognition as a musicologist of the highest rank. One measure of Joe's success is seen in his appointment as editor-in-chief of the Journal of the American Musicological Society, undisputably the premier scholarly journal in this field. This appointment came just 8 to 9 years after he finished graduate work. Imagine older, established, eminent, and often ornery scholars subjecting their work to the evaluation by a relative kid. President Tiefenthaler, it is a profound honor for us to present Joseph Henry Auner as a recipient for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
By action of a joint committee of faculty and trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Joseph Henry Auner, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. As a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma.
Woody Fischer, a CC graduate in the year of 2000, is a top young investigator in the genuinely interdisciplinary realm of geobiology. After completing his PhD at Harvard University in 2007, Woody joined the faculty of geobiology at the California Institute of Technology, Caltech. As well as work in the laboratory, his field-based research takes him to remote areas in distant locations such as Oman, West Australia, Sweden, Arctic Canada, Antarctica, Namibia, and Mars, that last via remote sensing. In these locations, there are rock successions that contain minute traces of Earth's earliest microbial life. These precious materials contain evidence of the origins of two fundamental characteristics of the planet Earth: the presence of oxygen in Earth's atmosphere and the ability of biological organisms to transform sunlight into energy via photosynthesis. Using scant traces of material to study events in deep Earth history, things that occurred billions of years ago, this takes considerable originality and imagination, traits that we observed in Woody when he was a student at CC, not only as a member of courses in biochemistry or mathematics, but also in legendary performances in the theater workshop improvisation group, TWIG, or in Battle of the Bands in Lollapalooza. Recognition of Woody's creative pioneering work has come early and in abundance. In 2011, he received the European Geophysical Union Biogeosciences Division Outstanding Young Scientist Award, a coveted international recognition. In the same year, he was named a David and Lucille Packard Foundation Fellow in Science and Engineering. This year, he has achieved tenure at Caltech, accompanied by a promotion to full professor. We congratulate Woody, and it is a deep honor to present Woodward W. Fischer to receive the degree Doctor of Sciences, honoris causa.
By action of a joint committee of faculty and trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Woodward William Fischer, the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. As a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma. I am pleased to invite Woody Fischer to deliver the convocation address, which he has titled, "No Prospect of a Beginning, No Vestige of an End."
No vestige of a beginning, no prospect of an end. This is a quote from James Hutton, a Scottish geologist and widely viewed as the founder of modern geology. But before I begin, there are some items from the CC handbook I've been asked to go over with you. Parking. Parking on college property is regulated by the Parking Services Office and the Department of Campus Safety. Information on parking and traffic regulations, appeals for tickets, policy exemption requests, and the Connect by Hertz rental program can be found at www.coloradocollege.edu/offices/parking. Lot identification permits must be properly displayed next to bumper stickers that promote a mountain lifestyle and/or extreme sports recreation, and may also co-name the pilot of the vehicle as Dog, Ja, or Ganj. Campus identification. All college members are required to have and appropriately use a CCID. You guys will know this as a gold card, as a common form of identification on campus. Now, the following are particular exceptions of this policy. Students are required to be in possession of their CCID at all times and to present it to campus safety or college officials whenever requested. Students may not deface or alter a CCID. If a student does not like his or her appearance in their CCID photo, they may formally petition the vanity committee that a new photo be taken. Petitions are commonly granted if this is due to a hairstyle change and/or removal of braces. However, no exceptions will be made for a wardrobe error. Please note that the committee meets at their own discretion and is known to be cliquey. If a card is lost or stolen, the owner is required to report it to the Warner desk. A student may then apply for a ghost card, but no one knows how or where to apply. If you find out, please report it to the Warner desk. Also, suspicious packages should be reported to the Warner desk. All lightning strikes should be reported to the Warner desk. There are currently 35 squirrels on campus. If you find more or less during the weekly count, please report it to the Warner desk. Trash and recycling. Students are expected to clean up after themselves and their guests. Students are responsible for recycling. There are two streams, paper and commingled. Don't cross the streams. It would be bad. Paper refers to any paper, magazines, newspapers, and can be recycled in the recycling stations. The only kind of paper that cannot be recycled is corrugated cardboard, which should be replaced in the cardboard recycling container. One final point concerns the recycling of human hair and nail cuticle. Please recycle your hair and nails. This is used for both costume and heating, bins for pickup, or at the drama department and physical plant. Note that at this time we are not equipped to deal with nail trimmings from painted nails, so please only recycle your unpainted cuttings. Also, no back hair, which is gross. Now, with these important points out of the way, we can get down to some brass tacks. My job with this address here today is easy in many ways because regardless of what I discuss, there's simply no way that you won't have the best 4 years of your life. I arrived at Colorado College enthusiastic about the block plan, but unsure of what I wanted to study. It certainly wasn't clear that I would become a scientist. I took music, chemistry, and Southwest Studies classes. I paid careful attention to which classes had multi-day field trips. But all it really took was an intro to geology class, and I was hooked. Earth science has a rare and powerful process-history duality that I was drawn to. The ability to think about processes across timescales that cover 10 orders of magnitude simply doesn't occur in other disciplines. The discovery of time is earth science's biggest contribution to capital S science. Back to James Hutton, who was that Scottish geologist living in the mid-1700s and founder of modern geology, he proposed a view very different from the biblical cosmos. In his Theory of the Earth paper presented to the Royal Society of Edinburgh in 1788, now today that would be a very ambitious topic for a single paper, he pondered about the connections between process and time in shaping the Earth. From observations of an angular unconformity of sedimentary rocks at Sicker Point in Scotland, Hutton hypothesized that the Earth hosted a continuous cycle in which rocks and soil are washed out to the sea, compacted into bedrock, forced up to the surface by what he called volcanic processes, and eventually worn away into sediment once again. He noted, "We have the satisfaction to find that in nature there is wisdom, system, and consistency. For having, in the natural history of this earth, seen a succession of worlds, we may conclude from this that there is a system in nature. In like manner as seeing from revolutions of the planets, it is concluded that there is a system by which they are intended to continue those revolutions. But if the succession of worlds is established in the system of nature, it is vain to look for anything higher in the origin of the earth. The result, therefore, of our present inquiry is that we find no vestige of a beginning, no prospect of an end." Hutton is commonly regarded as a bad writer. To me, the prose feels very 1780s. It's definitely a bit opaque. But that last clause is wonderful. No vestige of a beginning, no prospect of an end. Hutton developed an idea we today call uniformitarianism, which, despite much philosophical dissection, is just a complicated way of saying processes operating at the surface of the earth today have always operated in the past at similar rates that are imperceptibly slow on human timescales, but integrate over time to do continental scale work. It is a key principle of geology and allows both the understanding of rock formations as well as the reconstruction of Earth history. Hutton also pushed ideas of Plutonism, which is an early version of what we appreciate today as the rock cycle and plate tectonics. The concept of recycling of materials was important to him. In his view, time has no arrow. There is no push. There is no progress. A random walk. The planet was continually changing but going nowhere in a dynamic, steady state. This thinking was both creative and flexible, and it had corollaries with immense implications. One, the Earth is old with respect to human timescales. And two, that the Earth has recorded its history in the textures and compositions of sedimentary rocks. This is particularly important because it is the same observations that would lead to an independent test of this hypothesis. Indeed, from observations of the ancient sedimentary rocks, we now know that uniformitarianism in its strict sense isn't correct. The Earth isn't static, but has undergone tremendous change, much of it precipitated by the evolution of its biota. For example, our atmosphere today contains 21% by volume oxygen, but observations of the geologic record, including some that we've made in my research group, show that prior to about 2.5 billion years ago, the Earth was anoxic. Our thick, breathable atmosphere only postdates the appearance of a group of microbes called cyanobacteria, who were the inventors of oxygenic photosynthesis and precipitated a planetary revolution. Much of what we do currently in my lab is to understand how photosynthesis evolved and how it transformed our planet. Modern Earth science demands a kind of combination of uniformitarianism as well as an appreciation for the unique historical events and phenomena that have also played an important role in defining and contextualizing the current state of the Earth system. So Hutton's brilliance was to recognize the immense power and scope of everyday processes to affect global change under the purview of an indefinite time constant. He proposed a new, incredibly influential worldview, and from within that view would come a series of tests that would also demarcate its limits. Now, when I was asked to give this address, I knew I wanted to give some advice along with it. So here we go. Get the most from your faculty. They are exceptionally talented individuals with rare intellects. This is a tremendous advantage you have at CC over students elsewhere. Expect your faculty to challenge you and provoke them when they don't. They'll hate me for saying this, but plague your faculty every day. Challenge them. Be persistent and don't take no for an answer. Don't be shy with this. Practice writing often. Note that I didn't say well. I'm not talking about brilliant prose that would have made Joyce swoon. I'm talking mechanics here. Keep it simple. Good and clear topic sentences, proper and effective grammar, fewer words is almost always better. Bear in mind that writing is as much an exercise in English as it is in logic. I've worked with some exceptionally smart people, but they can't explain their ideas in words, which means they actually have no idea what they're talking about. There is simply no worthwhile pursuit wherein writing often and well won't make you feel superhuman. Writing is about 90% of my job. I'm horrible at writing, but I struggle every day to be a little less horrible. A raise of hands. How many people would consider themselves to be a perfectionist? Let me put it another way. How many of your close friends or family would consider you to be a perfectionist? Perfectionism poses a tremendous challenge to efficient writing. It kills good cadence. It will consistently lock up even the best writers. Try to be efficient with your writing and pay close attention to how much time you spend. Keep expanding your vocabulary. I know what you're all thinking. So you got into an excellent college and standardized testing is behind you. Note, this isn't true if you plan on going to graduate school. And you begin to think that you can forget all those odd words that the good folks at Princeton Review made you learn. But stick with it because interesting vocabulary is one of the simplest ways to make writing more fun and engaging. Seek out new words. Work them into your prose as much as possible. Dictionary and thesaurus tools are so comprehensive and easy to use these days, there is little excuse to not keep improving your vocabulary. Look up word usage data. Find ways to make old words new. For example, you might be able to guess what a gramophone is, but do you know how to properly use the word poultice? A quick straw poll. Raise your hand if this morning you awoke to your expurgafactor with enough time to calamitrate before convocation. Anyone? For those that raised their hands, I hope you made sure to address your skim shandrix with enough fleachman and encomiums that you negotiated significant rebarb. Now, if you've stayed with me, you're definitely up on your vocab because I only made up some of those words. Make up a secret society. I made up many during my time here, but one tip, it's important that they not know about each other because of jealousy issues. Once the block gets into full swing, things can and will become intense, but remember to enjoy the learning process. It matters as much or more than the product. It would please me to no end to see you all end up in pursuits from which you'll never retire. I say this practically because Social Security would be long bankrupt before then. Take a class that will travel to the Baca campus on the west side of the Sangre de Cristos. Baca is unique and the sangres are incredible. Take a geology class and contextualize your existence on this planet some 4.5 billion years after it was born. Play at least one intramural sport. Make sure to have a ridiculous team name like the Queenies or Deer Batter. Finally, let me end by saying that you're currently in a deeply enviable position. And many people from your home, your family, and your friends may ask you about what you're learning in college. If they do, please report it to the Warner desk. Thank you.
into your knowing, giving yourselves fully to the wonder and possibilities of this new year. May you have the courage to take risks, having clarity of vision, wisdom of mind, kindness of speech, trusting of heart, and generosity of action. And may your learning excite your spirit. In the name of all that is sacred, amen.